Good day, listeners. I hope your week is treating you well. Right away, this card acts like a spiritual confirmation for the connection. This is a continuation from the recent videos, and it seems I'm still picking up the twin flame connections. Now, I want you to know that this doesn't mean everything has been perfect in the past. In fact, the cards show there were mistakes. But the deeper message is that this person's heart is not deceptive. Archangel Michael often appears when truth is being revealed, fears are clearing, divine protection is around the connection. So the message here is that the situation may have looked confusing before, but the truth about this person is becoming clearer. I wanted to see what's on the divine masculine's heart and mind, and I pulled the following 3 messages. I'm finding the strength to end these cycles. This person is becoming aware of patterns they repeated in the past: running, shutting down, fear of vulnerability. They are now trying to break those cycles, which is not easy because these patterns usually come from old wounds or conditioning. Then there is, my worst fears are being brought forward. This is classic shadow work energy. Something about this connection is forcing them to confront fears like fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of losing control emotionally. Instead of avoiding it now, these fears are surfacing so they can finally be healed. Finally, I feel ashamed of how I treated you before. This is a very important card. It shows regret and self-awareness. They are looking back at the past and realizing that they may have pulled away. They may have hurt you emotionally. They may not have handled the connection maturely. And that realization is bringing a lot of humility. There's an energy here of something that once felt really beautiful. At one point, this connection felt light. It felt easy, like you could just be yourselves with each other without overthinking it. There was laughter here. There was presence. And for a moment, it felt like everything was just flowing naturally. This wasn't forced. This wasn't something you had to question. It felt genuine. It felt like happiness. Almost like a honeymoon phase where you were just enjoying each other, enjoying the connection, enjoying the feeling of being together. And what I'm picking up is that both of you felt this. This wasn't one-sided. There was a real emotional exchange here, a real bond that formed. And that's important, because sometimes when things change later, we start to question if it was ever real in the first place. But this is confirming that it was. It was real, it was felt, and it meant something to both of you. But something changed here, and the angel number card confirms this at the end of this reading. Keep watching. Because the next energy coming through is heartbreak. And this doesn't feel like something that ended because there was no connection. It feels like something that ended even though there was one. There's a sense of emotional pain, distance, something not being said or not being handled the way it should have been. And I'm picking up that this created confusion. Because it's like, how do you go from something that felt so natural to something that suddenly feels so heavy? This is the kind of heartbreak where you don't just feel sad, you feel lost. You question what happened. You question what changed. You may have even questioned yourself. And for some of you, this could have been a separation or someone pulling away emotionally, not because they didn't feel anything, but because they felt too much and didn't know how to handle it. And that's where this pain comes from. Because the connection was there, but it wasn't sustained. And then we move into this energy of shock. Definitely an awakening happening here. And this feels like a sudden realization. This is not something that slowly builds. This is something that hits. It's like a moment where everything becomes clear all at once. This could be happening for this person now, where they're starting to realize what this connection actually was, realizing what they felt, realizing what they lost, and realizing how their actions may have impacted everything. There's almost an energy of, why didn't I see this before? And for some, this realization comes after distance, after silence, or after feeling your energy shift. It can't be ignored anymore. This is the turning point, because now they're not looking at this connection the same way they did before. Now they understand it on a deeper level, because I'm seeing a period of deep reflection here. This is someone who has been spending time alone, thinking, processing, looking at themselves in a way they may not have before. This is self-worth energy. This is shadow work. This is someone starting to recognize their patterns, recognize where they may have avoided emotions, or where they didn't fully show up the way they should have. And this kind of energy doesn't happen overnight. This comes after silence, after distance, after feeling the weight of what happened. They're learning something about themselves here, and for some of you, this isn't just them. This could also be you. Because sometimes both people in a connection are going through their own healing at the same time, just in different ways. This is a phase of rebuilding self-worth, understanding emotions, and starting to take accountability. And this leads directly into transformation, because we have the butterfly once again. This came up in my 1111 appears twin flame awakening confirmed video as well. This is one of the strongest cards for growth. This is not surface level change. This is deep, internal evolution. This is someone who is no longer the same person they were when things fell apart. They are growing. They are healing. They are releasing the past, old fears, old habits, old ways of thinking. And what I'm feeling here is that this connection triggered that transformation. Sometimes we meet someone not just to be with them, but to become a different version of ourselves because of them. And this is that energy. This is moving into a new phase, a more aware, more emotionally open, more evolved version of themselves. And this ties everything together, because we have the runner. This explains why things may have fallen apart before. This is someone who felt the intensity of this connection, and instead of leaning into it, they pulled away. Not because they didn't care, but because it felt too much, too real, too deep, too vulnerable. And when someone isn't ready for that level of emotional depth, they run, they create distance, they avoid, they disconnect. But what's important here is this. The runner energy doesn't stay the same, because once they run, they're left alone with their thoughts. And that's when everything we just saw begins to happen. The reflection, the regret, the awakening, the transformation. So this wasn't just someone running away. This was someone running and then being forced to face themselves. It's a repeating energy in this reading. And now we move into the final message. We have the number 5555. This is a very powerful confirmation, because the number 5 is all about change. And when you see it repeated like this, it's not small change. This is major transformation. This is things shifting, things moving, things not staying the same anymore. And what I'm feeling here is that this is the result of everything we just saw. The reflection, the heartbreak, the awakening, the growth. All of that is leading to a shift. This could be a shift in communication, perspective, emotional openness, or even the direction of this connection. But something is changing. And for some of you, this may happen sooner than you expect. Because 5555 carries a fast-moving energy. Once clarity comes in, things can start to move quickly. So if we look at the full journey of this connection, it started in a place of happiness, where things felt natural, genuine, and emotionally fulfilling. Then something shifted, and that led to heartbreak, distance, and confusion. But that separation wasn't the end. It became the turning point. Because through that distance, there was reflection, there was realization, there was growth. And now we're seeing transformation, not just in the connection, but in the people within it. And the message coming through is this. This connection didn't fall apart because it wasn't real. It fell apart because it triggered things that needed to be healed. And now those things are being faced. There is a shift happening here, a real one. And with the energy of 5555, this is about stepping into a new phase, whatever that looks like for you. So take what resonates with your situation and trust the process that you're going through right now. If this message resonates with you, comment "I accept the shift" or 5555 below. And if you feel guided, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel and allow more messages like this to reach you.